Hello, this is Gene with Retrofix Games, coming here with another cool board game pick. They came out with a new edition of Horrified, American Monsters Edition. Instead of the Universal Studios monsters, this has a lot of cryptids, which I like. Instead of being instantly recognizable movie monsters, or monsters from like literature and stuff, we have sort of a range from Bigfoot, or Jersey Devil, or Mothman, which are a little more familiar. And then you have things like the Banshee of the Badlands and the Ozark Howler, which may be a little less familiar. Again, I love the theming on all of the Horrified stuff. All of the art and everything is very much keeping with the aesthetic of the game. Everything's done like a top-secret classified document set, while also being good print quality and full color. But even the board, like the board for the Universal Studios Monsters one, had a black and white sort of film look to it. Whereas this one is an urgent memo to the deputized members of your team. The back of it is actually like, it kind of reminds me of like one of those like weird diner placemats where it's like a stylized US map with all the cryptids listed. It's cute. Horrified kind of reminds me of Pandemic in that it's a cooperative game. All of your team members have different abilities. You have to complete a series of monster challenges in order to weaken them before you defeat them. So the monsters sort of take the place of the various diseases, and before you can, cure a disease, or in this case, defeat a monster, you have to remove other pieces from the board. Unlike Pandemic, where it's the same set of rules for each of them, each of the monsters does have their own set of rules. Like the Banshee of the Badlands has a music tracker. They lure people to their death with enchanted music. Each of the monsters comes with a card with all of their rules. With Bigfoot, you're literally just trying to prove he exists, so it's about tracking the monster. With the Banshee of the Badlands, you're trying to keep from getting knocked out by the ethereal music of the monster. Chupacabra, you're literally trying to collect goats and get them somewhere where the monster can't eat them. But no, I'm impressed at the overall build quality of everything. The art is snazzy. Like I was saying, each of the character types gets different abilities, but you can move, you can grab items, you can lead the hapless NPC characters out of harm's way, and you've got your reference cards to make gameplay a little easier. And then, much like how Pandemic has cards that advance a disease, the various cards that you pull each turn make you place citizens in harm's way. Like this guy, you place him at the mansion on the board, which I'll show in just a moment. Or this character gets placed on the farm. And so the town gets filled with all sorts of potential collateral damage, people you want to save in order to keep things from getting out of hand. And again, the board definitely has sort of like a theme park map sort of feel to it. But you basically move around the city trying to keep collateral damage to a minimum, and certain objectives can only be achieved at certain places. Like, in order to put together the picture of Bigfoot, you have to go to the high school because they have a photography lab. And then at the top of the board, you can see the terror track. Every time a NPC character or a player gets incapacitated, the terror track moves up one. The terror track moves up all the way. You basically run out of time, the monsters win. But it's a brilliant mechanic that keeps the characters on the move and does an incredible job amping up the difficulty, which is something I haven't mentioned. Base difficulty is 2 monsters, and they even rank the monsters in terms of how difficult they are to deal with. You can always ramp up the difficulty by just adding more monsters. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I really love the design. I thought the Universal Studios Monsters one was cool, but it's fun to see something not bound by IP. Anyway, if you think this looks rad, you can always come by the store and pick up a copy, or check us out on the Retrofix website. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day.